All the big names are lined up in the middle.
So watch the middle.
Side by side, they seed these senior races. I object to that because it kind of closes out that front group. It doesn't give anyone else any other sort of chances, an opportunity to get in and get a ride down to the first turn. It's almost like a closed shop in that midsection, and I don't think that quite fits with
the other hand, it avoids crashes. And off they are. And of course it's very, very important, the start. And they are racing now for absolutely amazing speed. And as we have seen over the week, the right-hand side is going quickest out. It follows the current of the river.
Just got a shot of Andy Burkett there. But it's hard to see from the shots we're getting who's doing the damage. It looks to be Merchan at the front there.
Yes, as we are used to, Merchan.
No, he's going to move. Somebody's ahead of him.
It's Alonso.
He's going to move.
Alonso is there,
Merchan
is there.
So it's Burkett leading.
Burkett. It's Burkett.
Romalo to his right, Merchan to his left.
Andy Burkett, South Africa. Andy Burkett, who won the short track in the World Cup previously this year and was second in the World Cup in Brandenburg on the long distances. He is
he's had under 23 medals in the past as well.
Absolutely, and he's a great surf ski paddler. He also won the Dusi Marathon and the selection race back in South Africa this year.
Hank McGregor tucked in the back, couldn't be better start for him.
Perfect start for the South African.
You've got your teammate in the lead who's pressing on. You're in the diamond wash there. That is absolutely perfect for him.
Absolutely perfect.
Doesn't get better than that
for South Africa. Andy Burkett and Hank McGregor, two great river racing paddlers. Used to these conditions. Hank McGregor used to train on the Blue Lagoon.
Here comes Ivan Alonso. He's going to try and make it up into the group.
Absolutely.
Now, in theory, he will come round Romalo and cut Romalo into the diamond where Hank McGregor is. That will give Hank McGregor a slightly harder time, but it's a long way round that group.
It is.
In fact, they're too close to the turn. You can tell Alonso's tucked into the back. He would otherwise have come around the side. He's not going to risk that with a turn so close. So he's going to settle for that 5th place. When they come around the turn, it'll be double file. So that was just too close to the turn for him to try that move.
I think he stayed cool there until the turn. But it's amazing. All the top guys are there.
Straight to the front.
Burkett, Merchan, Alonso, McGregor. All of them are there in the top group already.
Round the turn. Look at the quality of turning from the seniors already compared to what we saw earlier this weekend.
Yeah.
That is just better class, isn't it? Alonso could tuck in behind. No, just missed.
Very, very good turn from Hank there. He uses stern rudder and pedals to steer with, not a pin like it is in normal racing boats, and that creates an advantage for him in sharp turns.
So here we go. It's going to be double file up here. It's Romalo pressing on. He was so impressive in Boheen at the European Championships.
Absolutely.
He made a break almost accidentally at one of the portages and then just paddled away from the field.
It's Ramalho. It's both South Africa and it's both Spain. Merchan and Alonso. As we are used to see
travels on a fairly shallow river. The Spanish are used to shallow rivers. South Africans certainly do a lot of racing on shallow rivers. That is going to come into play certainly later on in this race. But for now, it's Romalo. It's McGregor, it's Burkett, it's Alonso, Merchan.
Watch this. This is really, really great. I think this is Olympic standards, Ivan.
Do you know, if you're looking at spectacle, you could watch this for the next 2 hours, and you could get fun out of watching it. You can see a race unfold. With the Olympic schedule, you're looking at, 2-minute race every now and then, one every half hour. This is a better spectacle. There's better atmosphere on the course. Everyone in this is in the race. In the Olympics, only the last 9 are in the final, or even the last 8 now.
Everyone could
Olympics is an 8-man race.
Everyone can participate here, and it's great excitement.
I mean, just in terms of cost alone, you don't even need to build a course for this at the Olympics. You can just turn up and go on some river.
Absolutely.
Put out a couple of turn boys and
it
you're
mirrors
done,
the tradition, the basic tradition of our sport as well. So it's really great.
I think, you see opportunity, and we love our sport. We're going to be biased, don't get me wrong. But you can see it. You can follow these guys. The camera work here is phenomenal. They've spent money putting cameras out here. It's just a great sport to watch. And we've had so many good races to watch this weekend. And this is just going to be one more of those. So looking at about 10th place, the red and blue band for Keith Mull. Just on the inside of the group there. But it's Romalo leading. It's McGregor. It's Burkett. Alonso and Merchan. And we'll try and fill you in on the others. We've got a Hungarian there.
Boros.
I'm trying to work out which one it is.
It's Boros.
And then in the white hat on the inside of him, we'll try and get numbers as they come over. Can't quite get identity on them from here. So here they come past. So 568 wasn't Boros, it was Petro. And then 580, Dries Corrin, also making a real good shot to make contact with that front group. Now the Belgian said he was good when he raced in Boheen. He didn't show on those results, but he is he's closing this gap to that front group. So behind the Spanish there is Petro, then Corrin, and then somebody coming right up the inside. That is a gamble and a half. And Keith Mull leading that second pack. Alonso, he's had enough of sitting in the rubbish washes. He's coming round. And if he can take both out, Hank McGregor's never going to let this happen. He's never going to let that happen. So, yeah, no, a wise move from McGregor there. You know, he just held him out onto the second wave. It's going to be harder from him. He's already spent some energy, and Hank McGregor's going to make him work that little bit harder than he wants to.
Watch the tactics from McGregor during this race. He used to...
Oh, no! Merchan in the water.
Oh, yeah.
He's never going to get in like that, dude. And his rudder's on the bank. He's done. That's Merchan out. That's not going to happen for him. Oh, no.
The very experienced, the most experienced paddler on the start line, I think. Emilio Merchan, about 38 years old, having won so many medals. Now he had a bad day. Really bad day.
It's hard to pick him out.
You can see there how close they go to the bank. It's Hank.
You see how much closer these guys go than all the other athletes. These are guys who are used to paddling on shallow water, especially Hank.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's done so many races on shallow water.
And he has to hanging on rather as well.
Yeah,
so he
he's got an advantage.
He don't care. Yeah.
It's worth him risking the other guy's rudders just to be that close. That's a very good point, Stefan.
It's part of his tactics now. He's going as close to the bank as he can. There's no head current there, and he's just going for it. He's used to paddle with his paddle in the bottom, and he has a hang-on rudder. So he's just going for it now. And he's cruel out there, Hank McGregor.
Hank is... Yeah, let's describe him as harsh, shall we?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
He's had his moments in the past.
He's harsh, but he's fair. But I mean,
that's not strictly true, is it, Stefan? Like I say, he's had his moments in the past that I'm sure he thinks back on and regrets. But the last 2 years at the World Championships, he's been so in control of these races that he's been dominant. He's won in absolute clinical fashion, and here he is. He's taking it on this one. Romalo won't mind being in the shallows, I don't think. He's probably the lightest paddler out there. Burkett on the outside there behind Alonso. Corrin just putting the drink over his head. Pito in the red boat with 212 on his chest. And Boros just behind him in the white boat. And that's pretty much the front group. I'm not sure if Corrin's in touch with that front group or not. It's a bit hard to tell. But certainly Hank McGregor, look how close they are to that edge. He's going to make them do that. Where you want to be is where Alonso is. He's the only one really who's that safe. Burkett's working hard, second wash out, and two people out into the current. Keith Mull looks like he's bridged that gap. That's great news for Great Britain.
But Merchan's
only just behind, man.
Yeah. He's there once again. Emilio Merchan managed to get through. He's coming on the outside there now.
Well, if he makes it back from that incident, that's good going. You have to hand it to him.
Absolutely.
So they're making their way up to the first turn at the top of this course.
Ramalho seems to just floating through there. We saw him doing that in Bohin.
Yeah, he didn't get really too mixed up with the race in Bohin, did he?
No.
And then all of a sudden, boom, he was absolutely in control of it. So those two Syncos you see with the turn down bows, I've paddled those myself, and they wash hang beautifully. They really pick out the waves. There's a lot of volume at the back of them, and the front doesn't waver. It's dug nicely in the water. That's the best wash hanging boat since the old wide back boats from our day, Stefan. And there they go, double file, as it will be every time they go upstream. He's having a little look round. He's just looking round to see who's where. Now, he's not going to be happy to see that McGregor's in the diamond, and McGregor's moved to the next diamond. So McGregor is sorting this race out at the moment. He is certainly the boss so far. What you don't want to be doing if you're one of the good guys, or this is, I'm going to talk about my mentality, okay? These guys may have a different thought process, but McGregor's the prime target here. He's the best in this race, historically. So if I'm leading, I will not lead if McGregor's in the V-wash. I will change that formation so that I'm not working too hard while McGregor's resting. That would be my thought process. So here they come. McGregor very relaxed in the back there. It doesn't get easier than being on that wash. Anyone who says they don't like being in that wash because it's a bit uncomfortable needs to have a few lessons and learn to love it. It's not an option. You can see by how low his hands are going when he's paddling. He's just cruising there. He's probably working at about 50% of the other guys around him. And that's a nice shaped, well-organized group.
But it's 4 kilometers an hour of current in this river, and they are paddling in the middle now with the current in the back. That's why the group is so big.
We've got Jacob Adam in that group as well. He's the one with the quite colourful boat and a blue shirt.
This is Ramalho, Portugal, who won the European Championships quite comfortable. Not comfortable, but he was
massively impressively. Yeah. Keith Mull still trying hard to make contact with that group. Just cutting the corner a little there. He's coming on the inside of the group. It could be done. Ramalho's not in a hurry here. So Keith needs to tuck in behind that red boat of Pito. We're not going to see that just yet, but hopefully next time we see him, Keith Mull's bow will be on Pito's tail, and he'll be able to get a little bit of a breather, but only just in time to go around the bottom turn. So, yep, there he is. He's tucked in behind the red boat of Pito.
Now they are 11.
Textbook
11
stuff there
the top
from
group,
Keith Mull.
Into this turn.
Yep, that has to split soon, I think. Ramalho's happy not to put in too much work, and maybe wisely, maybe exactly as I said, he doesn't want to put in his work while McGregor's tucked in the nice, comfortable position. It's a good thought process. So we've got Corin on the far left, Burkitt next to him with a white bow on his boat, Ramalho in the new Cinco with the downturn bow, Alonso next to him with a pink bow on his boat, McGregor tucked neatly in the back there.
See how he managed this coming turn from his position there. He can steer
Be interested to see if anyone take. Yes, here we go.
Yeah,
so Burkitt's giving it some into this turn. Again, McGregor straight into the V-wash. He's in control. That's the sort of racing I love to see. I can relate to that. That's how it works for those sort of guys.
Maybe he learned from you back in '99 when you met him here.
I don't know about that. I think he's capable of learning his own lessons.
Of course.
But and Alonso's going to try and take Ramalho out. Ramalho should let him take him out, and Ramalho should take out McGregor here. Ramalho could drop back. McGregor would be just that extra distance down. Great turn from McGregor. He came inside Alonso. Absolutely perfect. He's going to come out of this third.
This is amazing.
These boys, this is he's going to come out third from this. Absolutely perfect. He just dropped that last 2 strokes into the turn. He absolutely came off the power, dropped behind Romalo, and he's come out third. He's going to have to drop onto Romalo's tail going upstream. There he goes. And no, he's never going to. Alonso's too dangerous an opponent to take on a side-by-side like that. Those Spanish are hard men. But there goes Burkett. 2 people trying to come up the inside. That's just not going to work. Alonso will shut you out big time. There he goes. And now he'll take McGregor back off that wash. So Alonso in control of what he's doing. Hank McGregor in control of what he's doing. These are sort of back-enders. There's Merchan. He's a long way down. Billy Butler, his first World Championships there, 147. Seems to be doing a great job. He's mixing it with the big uns. He's just gave his tail tap there. A couple of choice words probably to number 130. That's 564. Jonas Salens from Finland. A good effort from Billy Butler there.
Exactly the same development as the previous lap. Burkett in top, one of the South Africans is controlling this, and all the big pack of 10, 11.
Up the right comes Boros, I think. Boros. Alonso couldn't answer that. So Boros is going to lead now. Alonso will go behind him. McGregor's going to be cut out. It's going to be this is a big fight. This means something to both these guys.
Absolutely.
The loser here is McGregor's still going. He's got the confidence of his rudder. He's going to move up and he's going to chop back in on Alonso. He'll go onto the tail of the white boat.
Quite fierce racing now.
Do you know, it's those moments. That's a one-on-one. That's a bit of a showdown. That's kind of a bit of posturing.
They are testing it.
The reason McGregor won that was that he had that rudder on his boat. That's the only reason. Otherwise, it was side by side, and I would have had, just before McGregor went close to the bank, I would have had Alonso down to win that one. But
it's high speed.
This is tough going. Boros is not messing around there. Romalo's the one in a difficult position now. He's 2 out from the side.
Boros is a very good portager, and now they are going to have their first portage. And we have seen Boros doing fantastic portages previously. But that is also Hank. And
Burkett looks like he's having a bit of trouble keeping his direction. And here they come into the first portage. So it's Boros, Burkett, McGregor, Alonso, Romalo. That's your first 5. So Boros up and running. Burkett just behind him. McGregor, who runs so well. He's already caught Burkett on the portage. Alonso, not stressed at all. Romalo, not stressed at all. And Pito, he's bringing up the rear there.
McGregor, no stress at all. He's just jogging over there. So confident.
But away goes Boros. He took the under-23s by storm last year by doing just this.
Exactly.
And he's absolutely a man on a mission. He's taken them on. It's Burkett out next. It's McGregor. I'm not sure how seriously these 3 old-timers will take Boros. But are they going to just hang him out to dry, make him do a bit of work and close him down later? Or is Boros... I can't believe he's going to go from here. That's never going to happen. But
they won't let him.
There's Jacob Adam in the colourful boat there. Keith Moore, he's moved up a few places on that portage. Great work by him. Here's a quick flashback to the start. So close together on those starts. Paddling in the pool of water that the other person makes. The trick to these starts when you're that close together is never to look at the other boats. You must always just look at the space in front of you. If you look at space, you will go to space. If you look at other boats, you will always crash into them. So you have to look where you want to go, not at what you think might happen to you. So Burkett now taking it on. It's these 4 away for the time being. We got strong guys behind them though. Romalo, he's only just behind. He could close in. But for now, Burkett's happy to lead it out for his teammate. McGregor spent an ominous amount of time in that diamond wash. V-wash as I call it. I'm going into Swedish talk here, Stefan, calling it a diamond wash.
Ah.
My people at home, they think I've sold out to Sweden.
South African talk, actually.
For me, of all the legends of all time, Lars Koch is the one for me. That you just couldn't see a way to beat the man. Everyone else, you think, okay, I know what I'd try to do. But with Lars, there was no door, or no window into weakness there for him.
Tried so many times.
Yeah. So, group of 4. If I'm in this group of 4, I have to decide who the fastest leader is. And I need to position myself in that group so that I'm always in the back of the group when the fastest leader is leading. You don't need to be overstressed. If there's 2 slower leaders, I don't mind being on their side, but if the fastest guy in the race is leading, then you need to be tucked in behind him.
Exactly like Alonso does now.
Exactly.
We haven't spoken so much of Alonso, but he's very confident and very controlling. And when he's racing, I think he raced similar tactics as you did, Ivan, more or less.
Yeah, I think he's very cautious. You don't often see him take a lead. You don't often see him lead too hard. They're not work shy by any means, but we just compare these turns to the turns we saw earlier in the week. And McGregor, with his presumably pedals in there, he can touch each one of those boys, even though it's a downstream turn. This is going to be interesting. Whiteboat has to come to his left. Alonso will go in the back, and Burkett again, he's just too slow to move into that group. He should have been tucked in the back there. He missed the opportunity. He's been second wash out last time they travelled upstream, and he's second wash out again this time. That's going to add up over the course of this race.
Absolutely so.
There he is.
There he is.
Yep, that's Merchan. Yep, you can see the curved down bow of his new Cinco boat. That is Merchan. That's 2 swims in 3 laps.
I don't think he will continue this.
You can't.
He has also K2 to do tomorrow, so it will be a lot better
Mate,
for him.
If I watch this race, I'm not sure I'd want to get in a K2 with him tomorrow. The man's clearly unstable.
The old man.
Getting unstable. You see the Masters here in the over 65s and stuff. They're back into the wide boats. I'm thinking maybe Merchan needs to be looking at a new boat here. Seriously though, joking aside, that's really sad. A champion like that, he said, well, it couldn't have been a worse day, could it?
No.
It could not have been a worse day. And hopefully, I hope he comes in now. He looks like he's going to. And I hope they do really well in the K2 tomorrow. So here's the portage. Hank McGregor out first, followed by Boris, followed by Alonso, and then Burkett. See how hard they're running? Hank's running hard on this one. Hank is running hard on this portage.
Yeah,
he's got 4 lengths.
Total different run from Hank this portage than the previous, and he's creating a gap now. Will he really try to do it?
That's going to be about 5 lengths gap.
It's amazing. He's running like hell. And
he's out, he's away, and he's paddling hard. They're all in just behind him. I don't think it's enough for gap. Boros is there. There's something odd with Hank's rudder there. Maybe it was just he was having to steer to get back in, but there was a lot of water coming off Hank's rudder.
Maybe it's just because
there's
he's going
Romalo.
Fast.
He's in, he's away. Nice bit of artistic film in there. But yeah, everyone caught back up. In fact, they did incredibly well to close that 5 lengths deficit so quickly.
But Boros made a wonderful jumping.
Yeah, very smooth.
We saw that. We have seen that previously as well from Boros. He's really skillful in that. The only one that can keep up with the South African doing that.
That's fantastic. So second group there. Back to the first group, sorry. So Burkett again, second washout. Off goes Boros. Hank will drop in behind him. Alonso will go up the side, and maybe Hank fancies his chance with his rudder. I wouldn't have thought so. You've got to drop in behind, really. There he goes. He's just dropping back to the tail of the white boat. Burkett, he's finally got the message and dropped in behind Alonso. And Boros is taking on the pull again. The problem with the V-wash at the back, for you, those of you who don't like it, it doesn't matter how hard you paddle in there. You can keep paddling harder and harder. You'll still be in there. So what you must do when you're in there is just back off the power A little bit more, and you'll find that you stay there just the same. Obviously, you get to a stage where you don't, and that's where you level out at. But you can relax a lot more in there than Boros is at the moment. So in comes Andy Burkett. Alonso, he's been in the right place every time. Boros, beautifully cleanly out of his boat. McGregor fourth out this time. That won't faze him. He'll just run fast enough to keep up. He doesn't have to do anything fancy. So it's Burkett, Alonso, Boros, McGregor. Then it's Romalo, then it's Peto, then it's Adam. And they're all reasonably well in touch. Romalo's gone in for a drink stop, as has Adam. Peto, he's run straight through, so he could be the one who makes contact first. But it's McGregor away. His rudder's still up in the air. He's got no steering as we speak. We need to get back to that if we can. Romalo's in, he's away. Jacob Adam, he's getting in, he's away. A little bit of hesitancy there. But McGregor's rudder was stuck up in the air, not even touching the water as he left that portage.
He's a little bit
But
off there.
it doesn't matter which side he came up, does it? It's the same. The view for him is 4 people in front. Romalo's the beneficiary of all that.
He was on the Diamond Wash, and he was maneuvered from the Diamond Wash by Ivan Alonso, of course. And
Is he going to rely on McGregor? Yes, he has.
Yes.
So what Burkett's done, he's gone round McGregor. He's picked McGregor as his friend. So that's why he's come up the left side.
And now they forced Alonso.
Now they've forced Alonso to go round.
Watch him now.
Alonso will go round Pito.
Yeah.
I don't think Pito will let him because I think Pito's too scared of being pinged to the back of this group again.
Yep.
So there goes Pito. He's just going to hold him out. Can he stop him? Yes, he has. But in order to stop him, he's had to take the lead. So it's still fallen.
Hank McGregor takes the Diamond
It's
Wash
still
there
fallen
again.
for McGregor and Alonso, and it's Burkett who finds himself right back where he started.
Yeah. That's it.
There are some good heads out there today on this race.
And
This
that
is
how
cracking
it
racing
will
to
be
watch.
Ongoing all the time until they are 4 again.
Yeah, this group will just keep churning around. Although if you've got someone like Burkett who's sitting on the second wash voluntarily up till now anyway, if he's happy just to stay there, Jacob Adams going to love him for that, isn't he?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, and it gives Romalo a nice wash second out there, third out rather. Although he looks like he's headed for deep water. He might think this is his turn to take the lead. For Romalo, if he can get to the lead, then all of a sudden he's in the mix again. So here he comes, he's come up round the side. And boom, what a cracking move that was from Romalo. Absolutely confident. Boros back into the V. Now it's McGregor's turn to try and come around Alonso. This will be an interesting fight. This will only end peacefully if Alonso lets it end peacefully.
I think
so here we go. Yep, Alonso's just ducked straight to the back of the boat. He wants to be in that V-wash.
For sure.
So he's thanking McGregor for that move. McGregor's just done him a favour. Now McGregor's holding his position. He didn't want to be overtaken by whoever's on his right. I can't work out who's on his right. So it's McGregor leading now. Alonso behind him.
But I think
Peto on his wash.
Watching this, it's always Burkett and McGregor that do the big effort. I wonder if this will last, actually. They're doing a lot of work.
Romalo's just come round again. He's coming round really comfortably.
Yes.
Jacob Adam is coming round Boros now. Somebody's going to pay eventually on this.
Absolutely.
Somebody is going to make the decision. And when you've decided you've had enough of this circus, if you like, then you have to make that really difficult decision. No, you're going to defend your position to the death now. And that's when people get dangerous. When you start to pick on the guy who's already made that decision that he's going to defend his position, whatever. And they're the people you don't want to get mixing with. So you've got to keep a real tab on who's feeling what here. You've got to look at how easily the people are coming round. If someone's suffering, they become the most dangerous person in that group because they start to behave erratically. So Burkett out of his boat, not particularly tidily. Boros out of his really well. McGregor smooth as ever. Here they come. Burkett's running hard through this portage. Boros, McGregor running hard. He's coming in for a drink. Romalo looking remarkably fresh. Alonso looking well.
They all look
Peto struggling. Fresh. Adam also, I think, struggling just that little bit.
Peto and Adam doesn't look that fresh, but the other one.
Romalo looking good. I would say
very
absolutely good. So 2 South Africans from Portugal. Romalo, be careful, dude!
Oh.
No! Oh, my word, that was close for him.
Very close.
Sorry, I got overexcited there. Romalo's my kind of emotional favourite for this race. I did not want to see him swim there, and I think that came out in the pitch of my voice there. I failed to remain neutral during that period, but I meant well. So, there goes Alonso. He's got round the turn beautifully. He's come up the inside. It will be his turn. Boros will look at him. Here we go. So here goes Alonso. Alonso has to hold this group. Alonso, he is putting in the work. That boat is shifting now. He's going to come back to us. Once they get opposite us, it will be Boros' turn. No, Boros is going early. He's not happy with the speed. That will suit Alonso down to the ground. Alonso will love that. If Boros is prepared to take this on, this is falling into Alonso's hands now. Alonso happy just to do his 1 minute at a time, it seems. Boros prepared to do much, much more.
Oh, it's a long gap now. It's a big gap.
The Hungarian crowd are absolutely loving this. It is a big gap. It's bigger than you can believe.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's already 15 seconds.
So Alonso it is. Boros, that's not a gap you can close in one lap.
No. Something must happen.
No, I think they just haven't got a...
Now it's half a minute. But it's more. It's Burkett leading there. 35 seconds.
And away goes Boros again. He's a minute and a half
49 seconds. 49 seconds.
These guys are just keeping the top speed. As soon as the speed drops, the other one takes it on. It's a minute and a half each. If they do this for another half a lap, it's game over. That was all Boros is doing, wasn't he? He came out of that portage. He took it on. He took on some big men there.
Absolutely.
That's bravery at its best.
And he planned for it already at the bottom turn there.
From the bottom turn, he decided he was going to come into the portage first. He knew what he was going to try and do. I don't think he could have thought it would work that well.
No.
The gap isn't bigger, is it?
No, it's not bigger.
It's McGregor now trying to close that gap. Romalo obviously did some constructive work. They saw some light at the end of their tunnel, and it's McGregor now closing down.
This will be tremendously interesting, exciting. What a race this developed. It's really Olympic quality.
Stefan, you keep going back to Olympic quality. I agree with you, man. You're not telling me. You've got to tell the right people.
I do. all our viewers and listeners out there. It's a democracy for
God's sake. You've got to be enjoying this. That gap's bigger than it looked a moment ago. It's the camera angle that shortened it. It still looks like about 40 seconds maybe. But these two are pushing on. They would have seen them at the turn. They would have had a little look back at that second group. They know how far ahead they are, at least for the time being. They'll have another look when they get to the top turn, and they'll know whether it's growing or shrinking. Boros out tidily. Alonso out tidily. They're up and running. Both running well. So it's going to be Boros up. No, Alonso's going. Alonso's trying to take some distance here. So it's Alonso through the portage. Neither of them running massively fast, but they're still well ahead of the others. Two South Africans are going to be the next into the portage just as the others leave. So as Boros hits the water, so the second group come into the portage. That's about a 30-second, 40-second gap. It's Hank McGregor on his own into the portage. He's decided it's too late to wait for the others.
24 seconds now. It's 24 seconds. So they have gained 15 seconds since they started to race that hard.
And it's McGregor on his own. Romalo at the back of that four. That's not where he wants to be or needs to be. Peto getting in. So.
And I don't think McGregor care much about anything else than closing.
McGregor has to close the gap, or at least he has to break.
At
least he has to break these other three.
Absolutely.
So he's going. It could be two boats here. Maybe with Peto. Peto may have caught him. What? Whoa! I thought. What happened there?
Yeah, I don't
know. Thought Alonso went for the turn. He went for the short turn.
Oh,
he thought it was the last lap. No, now they put their paddles down. Now they put their paddles down. They're going to wait. Alonso thought it was the short turn. That's a disaster for him.
He miscalculated the number of laps. Alonso miscalculated the number of laps.
And they're going to come back to 6 in a group for the final. After all that work. That's why Alonso was holding Boros off.
for it. You can see how he
Romalo's
suffers
moved out
in
for the
his
turn
face.
early.
And Peto is there, and Burkett is a little bit behind. Ramalho is off.
No, he's hoping to get to the turn at an angle that holds the others up, but I don't think he's got the speed to do it. So Romalo that's a chance in a million that move's going to pay off, but he's got to do something. McGregor can't afford to do any leading, any work now between now and the bottom turn.
Just resting.
The bottom turn's going to be fairly crucial for McGregor. Boros goes again.
I think he will stay there, and he will go on the inside now, using his
again, Alonso goes with him. Alonso's been measuring out his energy for a short lap now, and he's got a whole long lap to do.
I mean, it's just a feeling of the same feeling as when you were there.
It is. It's very close to it.
You know how they think.
But without the pain. There goes McGregor. He's done perfectly around the turn. He's going around the inside of the turn. He's going to shred them around here. He's got good steering. Alonso wised up to it straight away. He's going to be on the outside wash coming up. But it's McGregor who's taking the initiative to the portage. That puts him in pole position for a win. As it stands right now, brilliant manoeuvring from McGregor. Everything Alonso did to try and damage him didn't pay off. So it's McGregor.
He's smiling a little bit there.
At this stage, McGregor has to be favourite now for the win.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, every stroke, Romalo is closing in. Will we see the nose of Romalo's boat in this shot? Yes, there it is. So there's Romalo. He's joined the fray.
Fantastic.
So it's going to be 3 in from this portage. McGregor first, Alonso second, Boros third. Romalo, I think, is going to lose touch. So there goes McGregor. His rudder just dropping down. No, it's still up. His rudder's still up. He hasn't got a teammate to put it down this time. It's still up. It's just starting to drop down now. No, he's still flapping it with his feet. It still won't go down. And now it's down in the water, I think. Now, I think that probably Alonso, he's been beaten too many times by McGregor on the finish sprint. I don't know if he's got the heart or the belief that he can overtake him from here. I think maybe Alonso is settling for second place here. This has got McGregor written all over it now, this race.
Just 400 meters more to go.
There he goes. There goes McGregor. He's trying to break him now. I think he may break Boros.
It's very early. It's very early for McGregor.
No, he hasn't broken either of them. So he laid down a little bit of a test. It didn't work. But it's going to be McGregor. There's nothing they can do with him, I don't think, at this stage.
I wonder.
I don't believe in Alonso now. It's only Boros, I think.
McGregor started a little bit too early, I think. If it's not very fresh.
I think it was just a test. Boros looks to be suffering.
He's definitely suffering. Here they comes. Here they appear.
They're in sight now.
250 meters
the crowd are
more
going
to
mental here. So it's McGregor. This has got McGregor all over it. No one can take him, I don't think, from here. I've been in this position.
It's amazing.
It's just
it's
too
McGregor.
hard for those
Once
other guys.
Again, it's McGregor. We'll see Alonso. And now comes Boros. Boros is going for it now. Boros is coming. Alonso is going. McGregor is increasing speed. 150 meters more to go. And it's McGregor. It is McGregor. No one has given up. Boros is hanging on. Alonso is hanging on. And it's McGregor. McGregor and Alonso. And Boros. Boros is dropping off a little bit. But no one can beat Hank McGregor. Hank McGregor was going to be world champ once again. World Championship gold medalist Hank McGregor, South Africa! Oh, no, also I lose my voice.
Right, what do you say to that? I mean,
What
Hank
a race.
McGregor was out of
What
that
a
race.
man.
Those two guys had him beaten at one stage in their schoolboy error from Alonso. Alonso never had the faith in himself from that last turn. He never tried. He never tried to take it. He'd seen McGregor in front of him before now, and he didn't give it his best shot, I don't think.